How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another video. So as many of you might know from my past videos now, anytime it comes to my collecting goals, depending on what they are, I try to keep them pretty close to my chest. And that is just because a lot of them I'm already trying to get the best deal I can, or they're already hard enough to get, that I'm trying not to give myself any more competition than I already have. But with that said, I've mentioned before that for a lot of the major DC first appearances I want to have in my collection, I have set myself a goal to try to get them in at least a 9.0 or higher, at least when, for me, the budget actually allows for that. A lot of them, as you have seen, if it gets in the 1,000 to 1,500 range, I can still usually pull that and swing that off. Anything past that, still doable, but it's a lot less likely, and at that point I have to figure out, is it worth it for the book, for the grade, for what I want? With that said, some of the books I've been trying to crack down on a lot recently that I've kind of been neglecting for my collection, at least for the graded portion, are a lot of the famous Neal Adams books. A lot of those, like many of you, I adore everything about them, and I very much want them in my collection in the best grade I can afford for my collection. So I've set myself a goal for those books in particular, again, when I can, also with that 9.0 or higher range, but I'm trying to go a step further and also make it so that I'm trying to get white pages. Just because normally I do not care about page quality, as long as it is not brittle or cream. Normally I do not care. But for a lot of the Neal Adams books, based on when they came out, it's not too hard to also add that white pages on there. You're just obviously going to pay a premium where you're in the 9.0 range and you have white pages on top of it. It can make it a little bit more tricky. And with that said, I have already had some success with this. I've shown off some books I have in the past. Again, I don't have nearly as many as I should for the great Neal Adams, and there's still many more on my list that I need to get. So I've been going after his famous first appearances. So I want the first Ra's al Ghul, the first Talia, I want the classic Batman 252, that amazing, iconic Joker cover. That one in a 9.0 I know is going to cost me a pretty penny. But so I have my sights on some books, in addition to the ones I've already been able to track down, which sadly is only about 3 so far. So the first one I have, I actually tracked down a while ago. I don't know if I've ever shared it on this channel. I'm sure it popped up in some video. I just can't remember. But that is, of course, Batman issue 244, the iconic and classic Ra's al Ghul cover. This one, again, I got kind of when everybody was looking somewhere else. I was able to snag this book for a pretty amazing price. And again, 9.2 white pages. But one of the other things I really loved about this book is that as I've gotten into the comic hobby, while page quality I can kind of get away with a little bit, the spine wrap is something I've been paying more and more attention to. And this copy, in addition to the grade I wanted, the page quality I wanted, had an absolutely beautiful and amazing wrap on it, where I knew this was the copy I absolutely wanted for my collection. So this was my first awesome Neal Adams edition I ever had it in terms of one of his bigger, more iconic books. As I mentioned before, I'd had this one for a bit. Not too long ago, I showed off one of the books I got more recently, and that book is Detective Comics issue 400 in a CGC 9.0 white pages. This is another one that I'd had on my radar for the longest time. Again, it was a matter of what copy did I want. So again, this is, for anybody that does not know, origin and first appearance of Man-Bat. First, Robin and Batgirl team up in story and the iconic 400th issue. So this was another one. I got extremely lucky where it hit that 9.0 range marker I was looking for. It hit the white pages that I was looking for. And this one also, while it has the slightest of a miss on the back, but it's so small, you can't even tell. So it, again, had a near perfect wrap, which is something, again, I'm noticing more and more as I'm going deeper into the collecting hobby. That's standing out to me a little bit. But this main video on my journey to hone in on my Batman Neal Adams and that 9.0 white page or higher, I got one more book recently. I say recently, I've had this book probably for over a month now. I just haven't shared it yet because I've been waiting to do this video. But that book is Detective Comics issue 405 in a CGC 9.2 with white pages. This one more so than the other two I've shown already. Every time I talk about Neal Adams in my videos, when he does Batman, I really, really love, and I always bring up what he does with the perspective, the shadows, and the detail, and how he has Batman placed. He has so many amazing covers where Batman is up, hidden, out of sight, kind of looming down over people or a situation that is going on. And it adds that creepiness factor that he's in this tree, slightly shaded. The moon is casting light across his emblem on his chest, and he is being hunted by the League of Assassins, which I don't know if I've mentioned yet, but this is the first appearance of the League of Assassins, which is, for me, if you're a Batman fan, it is another huge monumental book. But the way that you have the League of Assassins approaching, again, it looks like the swampy water, Batman up in that tree, barely covered with the moon already kind of giving away his position. It is as you know any second he's going to be found out. It is absolutely amazing and incredible. And once again, I got extremely lucky with the wrap on this book, where overall it is very nice. Again, almost a near perfect wrap on that. So this is the newest addition to my collection for my Neal Adams. Again, it hit that. This one I'm even happier because I got it slightly above the 9.0. I was able to check it off just barely at the 9.2, but still maintain that white pages. I've had my eye on a couple of the first Talia, but finding it for a decent price in that 9-ish range with white pages, it's the white pages that when you hit these books, they do cost a premium, whether it is an extra $100 to $300 just for that white pages, but I was ecstatic when I got this and was able to add it. So that is all I have so far. Nothing too crazy, only 3 books, but it is 3 amazing books, and I can't wait to continue adding to it. I mentioned in one of my older videos, I had a Batman 252, and I believe it was a 6.0. I sold that one off, put the money towards something else because I decided for the copy that's going to stay in my collection, I do want a better, higher grade copy. So I used that book to fund one of my other purchases, and I'm still waiting to find the perfect copy that I'm going to have as my forever keep copy. But that is all I have for today. Just a nice quick video, kind of getting a little bit more detailed into one of my collecting goals that it'll go through 2025, and I'm sure past that, is that I want to pick up all of the Neal Adams classics of really significant note. Obviously, if it is just an awesome book by him, whether it's a Batman or not, I don't need it graded if it's not going to bring a premium. A lot of his iconic covers that a mere half point or a grade difference can cost hundreds of dollar difference. Those are the ones that I want graded. That way I know I'm getting the most value for my money. So thank you everybody for checking out this quick video. Until next time.